Thank you for coming. We appreciate your attendance and your attention to this cause. I'm Zari Karimi. I'm the manager of the nonprofit foundation, Cancer Research and Life Foundation, and it is a 501c3, and it was founded in 2016. And I'm going to go over the mission as well as the goals. The Cancer Research and Life Foundation is unique in providing cancer patients with immediate help wherever they are in their journey and providing quality of life. We're focused on making our patients happy and comfort. As many of you have received Dr. Nezami's treatment, you can attest to that, okay? That's the mission. The goals, how do we get to this goal, is we have 5 different goals. The first one is educating cancer care providers through precision oncology. The second one is educating public and providers about options of care to the patients with advanced cancer. The goal number 3 is the one that I am involved with frequently, and that's improving patients' quality of life and improve patients' emotional burden. The fourth goal is cancer rehab facilities, because we do need facilities for cancer patients. The fifth one is the preventive oncology. And I'm happy to say that every single one of these goals have been coming from Dr. Nezami, and he has vetted out throughout his years of experience and working with patients on a daily basis.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. It's a great time of the year, Christmas time, and everybody is, I'm sure, planning to enjoy the holidays with the family, and thank you for considering us as part of your family to join our celebration of what I call life. We really think that the only way we can get the foundation up and expose it as much as possible in the community is through patients. Every patient that I have treated over the last 10 years successfully, they have known somebody in other foundations and somebody in other industry that they could connect with and they could introduce us to. And I really encourage you to do that. Most of the time, unfortunately, most of the money that comes to the foundations goes to the people who actually direct and play parts in the foundation as executives. We are proud to say that is not the case for our foundation. Not even a penny of the money that comes to the foundation is spent on personal expenses or anything that has to do with people who work. We are volunteering our time. And we want to keep that this way. We want to show that we are continuing to provide the best resources to the patients who are at most need through the money that comes as a donation.
I'm Eleanor, and I've been dealing with cancer, breast cancer, a very small pea size here that I saw myself. I didn't really do anything about it for a few years because at that time I was still a single parent, full-time, 100% single parent. And then I believe in 2011 I went to Switzerland to Paracelsus Clinic for about 5 weeks, which was great. I had high-dose vitamin C, I had neurotherapy, I had full-body hyperthermia, which is put your body in a fever state once a week, and then local hyperthermia daily, some other pulse electromagnetic therapy, and good, really clean diet. And being in Switzerland was a treat. I did continue with the treatments back at home. I was living in Santa Barbara at the time. There was an integrative medical center there, so they were in agreement to continue with vitamin C, and I had products shipped from Switzerland from the pharmacy there. I think it was about 11 ampules that were added into the IV bags. I think I continued that for maybe 1.5 to 2 years. Over the years, I had gone to cancer conferences. One was the Cancer Control Society, which holds an annual meeting in Los Angeles, so over the Labor Day weekend. And I had learned of Dr. Nezami way back in 2012, I believe. And I started listening to Dr. Nezami's lectures and hearing the, listening to the patient testimonials, and I was like, wow, that's where I should have gone from a long, long time ago, from the time I knew of him. And I probably wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in now, which is once I'd done some testing with Dr. Nezami, I kind of already knew it was metastasized and gone into the skeletal, and it had basically eaten up the breast on its own, did its own mastectomy. I requested some help from the foundation, and I did receive some help, so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm going to be sending out those little pamphlets to all my friends and relatives. I'm just very grateful to have found my way finally back to Dr. Nezami and everybody there at the treatment, and blessed to have met everyone I meet there, and blessed and grateful for the foundation for helping. So thank you all.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of this last year, and I really feel like Dr. Nezami was like a God intervention for me. I actually was on the set path to start chemotherapy. I had been diagnosed in May, and within like 10 days I had a port put in, I had all my scans done, and I had gone through my first training of chemotherapy. So we're literally a day or two before I'm supposed to start chemotherapy, and we get a phone call from the oncology saying that our insurance does not cover chemotherapy. And they said it's $55,000 wholesale per treatment, and she needs 12 treatments. So in this interim, we're trying to figure out the insurance thing and trying to get new insurance. And we're getting nervous because I'm like, it's now been 6 weeks and we haven't done anything because we're trying to do this insurance thing. So I actually, in the middle of the night, woke up and literally almost heard like this voice telling me to call this good friend of mine who also was my employer, who 6 months prior had told me that she met this amazing doctor in Costa Mesa who's curing cancer. So I called her the next day, and she was like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't think of it. So I called Dr. Nezami's office. I went in that day, dropped off my scans. I happened to see him. I was dropping everything off. And he said, is this for a family member? And I said, no, this is for me. He's like, give me those. So I saw him the next day. We went and talked. Of course, my family, friends, everyone's freaking out because they're like, you're not doing this alternative stuff. Like, you're not. Needless to say, I'm like so grateful because that, like, I mean, it's very overwhelming when you have almost like that near-death experience of like, oh my God, what that could have been and what you're putting your faith and trust in. So again, I always feel like I'm so happy I listened to that, and because it was a complete divine intervention for us. And so I responded very well to the treatment. We got all my markers down to normal or below normal. I did the partial mastectomy in September, which I recovered like within like a week. Honestly, like, I feel really, really good. I'm eternally grateful for him.
I'm Brian Griffith. I'm on the board. We met Dr. Nezami a few years ago when our daughter was sick, and he was so helpful and kind to us. Thank you. He's been helping with my wife, Jenny, and she's doing fantastic. The issues with, and in regards to the long-term goals to take the product and make it in-house from a pharmacy standpoint. It's tricky right now for Dr. Nezami and Frank and for them to navigate that. And so we need the help to be able to do that internally, especially with a treatment that's this specific, epigenetically going after the right stuff. He needs to have control to make sure that the product's right. So if you can help in that, we'd love for you to help. The long-term goal obviously is to have a center and to bring the compounding in-house. So thank you for coming and supporting. Really appreciative, and thank you for what you're doing.
one last thing, we have a box there with envelopes such as this. Please donate as you can, because we do have a foundation that's going to do matching for today's collection. So please do so. Okay? Thank you.